Welcome back to Look News. It has just been over a week since Governor Andrew Cuomo's plan to authorize 7 Las Vegas-style casinos in upstate New York passed a statewide referendum. Well, now people in Saratoga County are saying not so fast, and a group of residents in the city have started an organization called SAVE Saratoga. It's a campaign to have their opposition to a casino in the Spa City heard. Here from SAVE Saratoga to share more with us is Sarah Boven, and we welcome you to Look News.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. This is the hot topic, and of course we want to get a lot of voices here on Look News for and against this, really starting a discussion about what this means for our city, and we appreciate you being here. Talk to me about SAVE Saratoga. Why the effort to form this organization? What is the opposition to a casino?
SAVE Saratoga is a group of grassroots, community-based folks who live here in Saratoga Springs who are very concerned about the addition of a Saratoga, Vegas-style casino expansion. So SAVE Saratoga stands for Saratogians Against Vegas Expansion. So it's a sort of a quick name, but it's easy to remember and recognize. And all we set out to do, and let me just preface this with, there's a group of 8 core members with growing support. We're now up into the 400 warm bodies in terms of support. We expect a good showing at a meeting we have coming up soon. But I want to say that the 8 people who make up the core couldn't be more diverse. It's a really diverse group. People are in this for all different reasons, and therefore we really feel that we can represent the 57% of people in Saratoga who voted against the casino on Election Day in a democratic process. So on paper, we really feel that 57% of Saratogians said no, 54% of the county residents said no. So there's already a strong sentiment that it's not welcome. And so we want to make sure that that voice is heard and carried from our city officials to the governor's office and the Gaming Commission. We want to make sure we're fairly represented and it's done truthfully and fairly before decisions are made.
Talk to a lot of politicians about this in the run-up to Election Day, including Mayor-elect Joanne Yepsen. Sure. A lot of these political figures have decided not to come out in favor or against this. Is that disappointing to you that the folks that are representing the city are kind of taking a standby, wait-and-see approach?
No, it's not disappointing. I mean, I think when you want to, hopefully their mindset is we want to do this right, and that involves a lot of factors. So it's going to involve factors that existed before the vote on Election Day, but now they have to take into consideration what the county and the city citizens have said post-Election Day. So I think hopefully what they're doing is looking at all of the factors, looking really hard at everything that matters, because you have to remember the Gaming Commission is asking for a populace vote or a populace of 20%, sort of what is the popular feeling in that area for the casino. So we want to make sure that city officials have that 57% in mind when they communicate that to the government and to the Gaming Commission. We want to make sure that that 20% reflects the actual vote on Election Day. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to amplify that voice. So I'm not disappointed, but I do hope that it means that they'll think long and hard and think about what it really could mean for Saratoga. I think a lot of people won't come out and say where they stand because there's so many variables that could come with this casino. Maybe some good things, maybe some really bad things. And I think some citizens, and many in that 57%, have a lot of fears that have not been quelched. And I think part of their job going forward as city officials is to tell their city, if it comes here, what does that look like? No one really knows. There's, on the Racino property, they don't have the same zoning limitations as we do elsewhere in the city. So there's a lot of fear about what that will look like, what that will feel like, what it will bring to our city. Can we handle things like infrastructure changes, security, ambulance, police force? Can we pay them all? There are things that come with casinos that are undoubtable. So there might be revenues, there might be tax breaks, there might be a lot of fun. But I think there's also a lot of hindrances that come with casinos that no one's talking about. And so I think this group is asking that we really talk about this, that we really put this out there and have a discussion that is thoughtful and mindful of the 57%.
You know, and rightfully so, you keep representing 57%. That is the population during the last election day that voted against having a casino.
Correct.
Actually, Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties
That's correct.
all voted against it. Washington County being included in our area. Warren County goes north. But anyway, the process says there has to be community support for this. That has
Yes.
been laid out.
Yes.
The problem here is that it hasn't been specified by the state
That's
how
right.
that community support is
That's
measured.
exactly right.
And it seems that a lot of people are saying that it doesn't matter if we form, you know, a consensus that this is wrong for us. There's no measure for the state to say. If they say Saratoga Springs gets a casino, Saratoga Springs gets a casino.
Well, yeah, but I think that that is part of the larger discussion. I mean, I think cities who are being cited or think that they're going to be cited should demand clarity on that language from the governor's office. They should say, what does that mean? What does that 20% mean? Please define that for us. Does it mean we get to speak on behalf of the people who live here without their thoughts and opinions? Can we move forward without the populace? Or does it mean, no, you must take into account your citizens as well as your downtown business owners and your other entertainment venues? I mean, what does that mean? I think that that is one of the things I'm saying when moving forward in a thoughtful way. I think our city government, our elected officials and our appointed ones really need to define for themselves and for us what that means so that we don't have something we don't want here. That would be incredibly unfair. So I think that they have to really do right by the people who are saying no and figure out how to move forward if it's coming inevitably to make everyone feel safe and protected, that your investment is protected. Personally for me, I live on Nelson Avenue. My stake is incredibly high. I've just put an amazing addition and a historic renovation on my home, which only lends to the charm and quaintness to that East Side neighborhood. I mean, I help, my neighbors and I help present Saratoga and that historic racecourse gateway in a beautiful light. And so I want to make sure that that is maintained and protected. And when casinos come in, traditionally when you do the research, oftentimes that doesn't happen. Oftentimes things are put into jeopardy and things fall apart. And there are no assurances from my government right now that that won't be the case, and I think they need to hear that from their constituents, and I'm not the only one. I am really speaking for friends and family in the area.
We're quickly running out of time, but I know you've got a petition going on, you've got a public meeting. Briefly, just give me the details on those.
Sure. We have a public meeting, which is our foremost priority, on Monday night, this upcoming Monday night at 7 p.m. at City Hall. It's not a city-sponsored event, it's a community event, but we're asking people who are opposed to the casino or want to, maybe they're on the fence, like you said some of the politicians are, and they want to learn more. So we're hoping this will be a motivational and educational session. We're going to talk a little bit about our organization, where we stand and what we hope to do and what we hope to prove. And then finally, when we wrap up the discussion part of the meeting, we actually have a call to action. We'll have action tables where you can sign the petition, you can get bumper stickers and signs, you can get volunteers together to hit the pavement and talk to people. So we're really having at the end of this meeting a call to action, which is really important, you know, especially in this day and age. So anyway, we are having that, and then like you said, we have the petitions come in two forms: move.org, moveon.org, and change.org. And between the two, we're well over 1,000 signatures. Before we go ahead and hand that in, we'll make sure that we haven't duplicated names, and we do it justly and fairly, just like we're asking from our politicians.
Well, that sounds great. We appreciate you spending the time, the start of this conversation. We've got a lot to talk about over the coming months as we move towards
sure I'll be back.
this. We will definitely have you back, and we'll also have folks on the other side of the argument to present their case. Sarah Bowman from SAVE Saratoga, thank you so much for stopping by. Now, to see our conversation for a second time, head to our website. It's looktvonline.com.